Welcome to our series, The Meaning of Life. And we have decided to do an exploration of my book, Fulfillment of Purpose, Your Access to Great Wealth and Happiness. Because I found out that I explained most of the things that questions people are asking about the meaning of life, about who you are, about where you are from, about why are you here, what can you do, and where are you going. All these questions have been answered in this book. So we decided to do an exploration. So we're going straight on to the introduction. So I'll encourage you to grab your copy from fulfillmentofpurpose.com or from amazon.com, and it's available in audiobook, ebook, softcover and hardcover. So grab a copy and read. We decided to start from introduction because it gives us a perspective of why I wrote this book and what led to all the information I put out in this book, so you can flow with me by the time we go into details from chapter 1. So introduction. Now I'm here with, I have an audience here, though they are not visible to you, but well, you can hear their voice. Did you get your mic? Let me get your mic for you.
Say hi. Hello.
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 Hello. These are my children. So we are doing family time, family Bible study.
Yes, sir.
So you can encourage your own family too. I encourage you can do the same in your family. Now we're going to introduction. So what jumps at you at introduction? Introduction. What jumps at you? Let's go. Let's go. What jumps at you? All right. Who wants to talk? What jumps at you?
The difference between fulfillment and frustration.
The difference between fulfillment and frustration. And I define fulfillment because we have a lot. Fulfillment is being used by so many people, right? We have Amazon fulfillment and fulfillment of promise. But this time around, we are talking about a feeling that you get when you are satisfied, with life, when you are filled with joy and you feel you have accomplished what God has sent you to. You have completed your assignment. You have maximized your potential. That's the kind of feeling you get. If you're not there yet, I beg on, you will still get there. You'll get there. Hi there. I just want to take a moment to shout out to you, our viewers. If you are not yet a subscriber, I want to appeal to you to hit the subscribe button now. This will enable us to continue to make videos like this just for you. My promise to you is this: if you are a subscriber and you put in the comment section the kind of topic or video you want, I will go ahead and do a research and make a video just for you. That's my promise to you. Enjoy the rest of the video. God bless. And that's why we're doing this. And frustration is the opposite. And that's what a lot of people are going through today. People are working in jobs they don't like. They are frustrated. People are frustrated by problems in life. We have a lot of crisis all over the place. We have war in Russia and Ukraine, war in the Middle East. All these are frustration. Like all the problems in society that make people feel unhappy with themselves are frustration. Even the problem from within you as well, making you feel that feeling of joy, it's what I call frustration. Okay? Let's jump at you. Okay, I'll just go ahead and be mentioning things that we got from the introduction. Okay, talked about frustration and fulfillment. So, and I believe every problem. Well, let me not say every problem. Let me say 99%, right? Because there are some problems that, okay, let me put it at 95%. I think when I did the statistics, it was about 95 plus percent of problems in this world are due to frustration of not being able to fulfill to maximize your potential according to the purpose of God in your life. And we can go into details in this, but not in this introduction anyway, but I'll mention some things. Okay, in the book I mentioned problems, political, ideological differences, of not having a good job, not having enough money, not having a good president. We told you to the top is not good. We don't know. We don't know. Depending on the president, or depending on the job market, or depending on your teacher or whoever, that fulfillment is why a lot of people are having frustration. Whereas what you need to do is to depend on yourself, because God has filled you up already with what will give you fulfillment. And also we mentioned purpose and gift. You remember? We mentioned purpose and gift. Yeah? I said in the introduction that a lot of people place their hope on factors that are outside of them. Like job, like business, like the president who is the senator, who is going to fight for us. Family problems, all outside of you. All those factors, if you put your hope in them, you're likely to be frustrated. But if you put your hope on the things inside, I want to talk about hope. Hope is what? That things will be better in the future, right? That's hope. That things will be better. Hope for a better things. If your hope for a better life is external, then you are likely to be frustrated. But if your hope for a better life is internal, it's from inside of you, then it's leading you to fulfillment. That's what I said in introduction. So, of course, I mentioned the president. We just had an election. A lot of people were like about the whole thing, as if the president is gonna make a difference in their life. Well, it might make a little difference, but it's not gonna give you fulfillment. And I remember the slogan Donald Trump used in the last 2 days of the election. He said, "Are you better now than you were 4 years ago?" I know every president that asks that, the answer is always no. Why? Because there is no president that can make you better. It can only be better when you search inside of you for your purpose and the gifts God has given to you to fulfill that purpose. So, in the introduction, we talk about seed time and harvest time. That this is one of the foremost universal laws I emphasize a lot. Seed time and harvest time. Seed time and harvest time means there's a time you're going to plant and there's a time you're going to reap. Now, many people want to reap before they plant, and it doesn't work that way. You're going to plant first, then you're going to reap. And Newton's law kind of explained that action and reaction are equal but opposite. And what I mean by you're going to plant first is that God has given you a gift. That gift is to give value to people. That is your seed time. That's your seed time. That you are giving that gift to people. That's your seed time. Before you give that gift to people, of course, you have to identify that gift. You have to identify the purpose of that gift. Then you have to develop that gift. You have to develop it. In that development, it could take you years. You really bring the skill to really get skillful using that gift. Then after being skillful, then you deploy that gift to solve a problem that God has called you to solve. So that's what all purpose is all about. And that's why we say reach inside of you, and when you start serving with your gift, then you receive value in return. And I gave an example, Bible of Moses. That, well, Why did I use Moses? Because the Bible gave us an insight when God was talking to Abraham, that he was telling Abraham that he was going to send a deliverer. So those of us that were reading knew what Moses was all about. But Moses himself did not know that he was a deliverer. All he had inside him was an urge, a dissatisfaction, hunger that his brothers are being oppressed by the Egyptians. That's what he had inside him. He did not know that he was a chosen one. But of course, I mentioned that that God give you is for a purpose, and we can count. Can we count what God gave Moses? Huh? What are the endowment? I call it endowment. The endowment God gave Moses. Who can say one?
The fact that he was raised in Egyptian.
He was raised in the palace. Can you imagine an Hebrew raised in the palace of the oppressor? And we know that Egypt in those days was like they were one of the most advanced, most civilized people. They were the most educated people. So Moses was raised with very good education. Okay, that was not coincidental, as we saw. It wasn't coincidental. It was because he had an assignment. So that's why I say your endowment is it's not just what is your talent. It's everything that God has given to you to fulfill your purpose. So what other things? Moses was born. Remember, let's even start from where he was born. He was born where? When he was born, the king of Egypt sent to kill all male children. Huh? And the mother, his mother decided to go and put him in the river, right? And Pharaoh's daughter found him and adopted him straight. Yeah? A coincidence? No, that was planned. That was destiny. That was destiny because he had an assignment upon his head. We also know he was trained. Huh? A prince, right? Not everybody had that chance to be trained like a prince. He enjoyed favor of the palace. Okay? Well, he is of the prophecy that God shared with Abraham. And he already has an inherited assignment. But he did not know the inherited assignment. Otherwise, he would have known better than to go and kill an Egyptian for an Hebrew. Right? But he just knew that he was raised to defend his people, to deliver his people, but he did not know how. And that's how it is when our talent is raw. It's raw, that we have not developed it. So, he has an inherited gift already. You know, as a prince, and princes are raised to be strong, to be warriors in those days. They go through like training. So a prince should be able to go to the war and win. So a prince is raised like a military officer, like a major general, like a general in the army. So Moses was strong. So you can imagine it will not take him anything to kill an Egyptian. And it's all part of what? Part of the assignment. Part of the assignment. So he had a different mindset. And of course, he has an anger inside him. The anger that was generated from him not being satisfied with what was going on. Right? So, and of course, he has an inherited talent. So all these are what I introduced, that God, to show us that God does not give us all this endowment by chance. All these endowments are for what? Are for the fulfillment of purpose, right? So let's look at harvest time, using Moses as an example. Seed time and harvest time. So there was an expectation upon Moses' life, right? Do we agree? There was an expectation. What was the expectation?
To deliver the Israelites.
that he would deliver the Israelites. Yes, he would deliver the Israelites. So that's to tell us that there is expectation upon each and every one. And the person that gave the expectation, that put the expectation there, is demanding of a service. So briefly, if we understand that there's an expectation, just like Moses has an expectation to deliver the people, he was given endowments, like we mentioned before. In order to meet that expectation, God gave the endowments. So when people ask, oh, how do I discover my purpose? I say, hey, no, just be conscious that there's an expectation upon your life. Then be conscious of your endowments. Then give gratitude upon those endowments. Okay? Give this example. I say, imagine you are born in Gaza. Can you imagine? Huh? You are born in Gaza. A lot of innocent people are being killed in Gaza. Children are being killed in Gaza. And they did not design it by themselves to be like that. So that's what we mean by endowment. So if you are born in America, thank God that you are not born in Gaza. You are not in Gaza. Okay? And with gratitude, you go to the expectation. The expectation is now, when you now know you now know your endowment, and you know that the expectation upon your life, then the next expectation is to ask God what all those endowments are for. And that leads you to what? To surrendering yourself for the assignment. Surrender yourself for the assignment. So that was introduction. The book Fulfillment of Purpose, and in the next video we shall be going to chapter 1, the secret wisdom. So join us next video. See you then. God bless.